Wake up, America. I'm Rob Finnerty. The crisis at our southern border rolling into another year after 2021 marked the worst year ever for illegal crossings, a crisis that both Joe Biden and Kamala Harris have completely failed to address. Joining us now for more is Texas Congressman Michael Burgess. Congressman, great to have you on. Happy New Year.
Well, happy New Year to you, Rob. Thanks for having me on this morning.
Yeah, well, it's our pleasure. I know you're down at the border right now. It's extremely cold down there. Temperatures at parts of the border in the 20s right now, at least in the state of Texas. December, typically one of the coldest months of the year down there. We saw a record 174,000 illegal crossings. What are you seeing right now?
Well, I really just arrived late last night, and I'll be going to the port of entry and the central processing facility within the hour here. But it's not as cold as it was yesterday. But look, it's like you said, it is the worst that it's ever been in years of coming down here and evaluating the situation. We're really at a point now where the determinations that have been made by the Biden administration have done nothing but make this situation worse. And really the only thing right now that is preventing just an absolute being overrun is the maintenance of the Remain in Mexico policy, the Migrant Protection Protocol, or MPP as it's called. And that is the one thing that is still, at least in this sector, that is still maintaining some semblance of order.
So do you expect, Congressman, we're 4 days into a new year, do you expect any change in policy from Kamala Harris, who is still the border czar, or the administration as we head into another year of crisis down there?
It's hard to know, but I don't mean to sound just pessimistic, but the Migrant Protection Protocol, the only reason it's still in effect is because the court said it must stay in effect. The cessation of the activities building the border wall was really detrimental. Of course, my governor, Greg Abbott, is now in the process of taking on that project himself, which is important, but at the same time, this is a federal responsibility, and state funds should not have to be expended to do the job that the federal government should be doing.
Yeah, but I think it's interesting, in an election year, Governor Abbott is taking it upon himself and his administration to make sure that those gaps, particularly those large gaps in the wall, are completed. Do you think that will help to curb any of the problem when it comes to illegal migrants? I mean, 2021, the numbers, you hear these numbers and people don't think about them because they're so big, but over 1.8 million illegal crossings that we know about, more than 100,000 overdose deaths from fentanyl. Fentanyl now #1 at the border over heroin for the first time in history in 2021, all on Joe Biden's watch.
Yeah, the fentanyl is part of the work that my committee, Energy and Commerce Committee, does, and that has been particularly disappointing after President Trump signed the Support Act in 2018. For the first time, overdose deaths in this country showed a tick downward, and now they're over 100,000 for the past year. That's unacceptable, and the source for that, which I learned last night, Chinese fentanyl, which is being brought in through Mexico. The cartels have made that their business plan. They've monetized it, and it is going to overwhelm our cities.
Yeah, the Chinese gave us COVID, and they're giving us this deadly fentanyl. Yet 1 month from today, February the 4th, we're all going to send our athletes here in the U.S. and other countries to Beijing to celebrate the Olympics, which is a massive boon for any local economy. I know it's off topic, but where are you on that? We are 1 month away. February 4th is the opening day of the Beijing Olympics.
Look, you just described it very well. Fentanyl, coronavirus, we basically got chemical and biological warfare being waged against us. Why in the world would we participate in that? I for one don't know. Look, the athletes spend their entire lives getting ready for that, and I recognize this would be an enormous sacrifice to not participate. But why? Why legitimize this government of China that has been so hostile?
Yeah, absolutely. And particularly what we saw in 2014, the Sochi Olympics. People forget the Sochi Olympics happened in Russia. Right after that, Vladimir Putin invades Ukraine and Crimea. So it could happen again. History could repeat itself 6 weeks from now.
Watch out after this one.
Yeah.
Watch out because
Go ahead, Congressman. I'm sorry.
Watch out after this one, because if there are places you think that are at risk, read Ukraine, read Taiwan. seems like a period of vulnerability, doesn't it?
Yeah, you know, it used to be that a United States congressman would travel somewhere and bring attention to a cause and something would change. I've had countless of your colleagues on the program here that have gone to the border, that are at the border, and nothing seems to change because the administration just does not want to address this crisis. Hopefully that does not continue in 2022. Congressman Michael Burgess, so good seeing you again. Thanks for being down there. Keep us posted on what you see.
Great, thanks so much.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, we're real news for real people.